Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you a really cool candlestick telephone, and this would be a railroad candlestick telephone. This is Len's equipment from Georgia. He has two telephones that he sent in. He's got a cool wall trim line, and then he has this railroad candlestick. And he's got a note with it, and he's talking about how I do believe he has the scissors that go with this candlestick that mounts to the body, and that way you can pull it out away from the wall when you're sitting at the desk and then push it back towards the wall, or however they decided to mount it. I do believe that he was talking about the receiver capsule and that it used to have a headset, or it came with a headset and the receiver capsule ended up with the unit. But the issue with this telephone is that it doesn't do anything. He said something in the note about whoever put it all together didn't do it right, or something to that effect, and I believe he's probably right on that, because the candlestick doesn't do anything when you plug it in. So somebody has tried to convert it, and it either went bad or the conversion wasn't done properly. We're going to go ahead and plug the unit in. We have a modular port adapter someone installed on this telephone. We're going to go ahead and plug it in. Since the hook switch is up, it should have seized the analyzer, but it doesn't do anything. So since this is the initial checkout, we're going to kind of run through everything. We have our adapter here. We have the candlestick loose where the transmitter encasement is, and so basically what's happened here is we heard it rattling around, and here's a transmitter, a T1 that someone used when they converted it, and it was just flopping around in here. So we know that we want to probably go ahead and replace this. We're going to install an electronic amplified transmitter that we design and build here at the shop. We also want to go down into the neck of the body here, and we want to check our hook switch. We want to see what's going on here and what they've done when they tried to convert it. We have a patent date here of 1915. So it says, looks like January 26, 1915, and then patent USA. So I want to give you a look at that. That's where your scissors would mount. And so it's a very cool piece of equipment, and we're going to have to go through that issue there. Set that to the side. We want to take a look at the receiver capsule. And someone has installed a newer style, which would be old at this time, but it's updated from what it would have been originally. Originally it would have had a diaphragm type receiver, and so we have a newer style receiver capsule here that somebody has installed on this unit. They've tied a knot here, and then they installed some things down inside the receiver capsule so that it wouldn't pull through. Seems like a little bit of overkill here. We may design that a little bit differently. So we'll have to see how that all comes out. But this is what we have to work with this time. And we're going to go through the unit. We're going to figure out what's going on. So we want to troubleshoot. And then we're going to make some repairs. We're going to install our electronic amplified transmitter in this unit. So we have the quality with this candlestick telephone that Len is going to need to hold a everyday conversation on. And this electronic amplified transmitter, he will not even have to hold the candlestick close to him to talk into it. In the old days, they would normally have to get up on the spit cup and transmit. That's how the quality was. It was so poor that you would have to get right up on that spit cup and talk into it. That's why it's basically designed the way it is. It's funneled, and so it would catch the transmit. But with the electronic amplified transmitter that we design and build here at the shop, you won't have to do that. It'll almost be like a speakerphone. That's how sensitive the circuit is. So we're going to go ahead and take a short break. We're going to get a start on this equipment here, and then we'll come back and get some more video as we move forward in the repair and conversion of this really cool candlestick telephone. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're back now, and we are finished up with the repair and conversion of this railroad candlestick telephone. We want to run through a little bit about what went on. There's several issues it had, and we want to start out with a T1. This candlestick telephone has had a conversion earlier, and someone installed this T1. Now the T1 is no longer any good, so we're going to set that to the side. That was replaced with an electronic amplified transmitter that we design and build here at the shop. And it's very sensitive, and we're going to show you that in our final checks. We have a rubber band here to keep the candlestick stable while we're doing our final checks. We went through the hook switch, we went through all the connections of the line and the receiver capsule line cord. We also went through the receiver capsule. We also went through the connections. Earlier when this telephone, we took the receiver capsule cap off, you could look right through the hole of the receiver capsule. And I put a felt screen in this type of situation so that you can't look down into the receiver capsule. It just looks kind of funny when you see a bright shiny piece of metal looking at you. And so we like to cover that up with a felt screen, just like a microphone would have on it, or a speaker cover. So that was taken care of. We went through the line cord. It came in with an adapter. There's nothing wrong with it. That's basically how they hooked it all up, and that was also repaired. So it had a lot of issues going on, and we have everything straightened out. That's all been taken care of. And I also want to show you, if you watch our videos, this is our pickup. And what we use this for, it's amplified. We normally turn on our receiver. That's an amplifier, and we set the receiver capsule down on it, or the handset of a telephone, and you can hear the amplified receive. And since this electronic amplified transmitter is so sensitive, we get nothing but feedback in these cases when we usually install them. And so we're not going to use that. We're just going to set the receiver up to the video, and we'll get our audio that way. What we want to do to start our final checks is I want to go ahead and plug the unit in. It seized the analyzer, and I want to hang up. You'll hear it click. We want to do that a couple of times with dial tone. So now we know it has receive. If you watch that red light on the analyzer, you can actually hear my transmit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you see how bright that red light is, that's an indication of 100% modulation on transmit. I'm a couple of feet away from this telephone. It actually acts like a speakerphone. So Len doesn't have to be right up next to the spit cup to talk on this telephone. And he's got plenty of length on his receiver line, so he can just basically hold the receiver and be that far away from the telephone. People will actually hear him. And that's why we created that transmitter. It's very sensitive, and we want people to be able to have a normal conversation on the telephones that we work on without any difficulty. So now what we want to do is, I have a tone dialer since there's no way to dial out with this Candlestick telephone, and I'm going to show you just how sensitive the Candlestick is. If you watch the analyzer, you're going to notice a number that I have stored here, and it's actually a weather number, and we're going to go a time and temp number, and we're going to go ahead and dial that while we're still on the analyzer, and you'll watch the number roll by. It's going to end in a 0. I'm going to do that again. So now what we can do, since we know it has receive, transmit, the hook switch is working, we can push this button on a line, and when that happens, that totally takes out the analyzer and gives us a line out, and we can call that time and temp number. I want to give you our dial tone. We'll go ahead and dial that number.
Good morning. We have express service available at almost every Offenburg dealership. Open later during the week and Saturday for your convenience. Today is Friday, January 2nd. The time is 1:29. Current temperature 43 degrees.
Partly sunny today, then becoming mostly cloudy with highs in the upper 30s. Cloudy tonight and Friday. Lows on the upper 20s, highs in the upper 30s.
Okay. We can go ahead and unplug our line cord. So now that we know that this Candlestick telephone has been repaired and converted, we can return it to Lynn, and he can put it back into service, put it back on the scissors, and get everything working the way it should be. And I'm sure it's going to look great no matter where it's installed. And it's kind of a really cool telephone. And since it's a railroad situation, that makes it even a bigger plus. This is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com. And you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.